So the Apple Watch blood oxygen sensor ban has been going on since the fall of 2023, where Apple had to stop selling it in December. But there's actually a lot more to this story now, especially because of what just happened last week in court. So earlier this month, Apple appealed the import ban at the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit, arguing that the ITC ruling that it was wrong because of multiple things. So Apple's main argument was when Masimo filed his patent complaint in 2021, their blood oxygen smartwatch wasn't even finished yet, and it was purely just a hypothetical. So how could Apple infringe on a patent tied to something that didn't even exist? Well, that point resonated with the judges who pressed Masimo's lawyer on whether having just a prototype meets the legal standard for patent-based trade exclusion. And that's major because if the courts decide you need a real market-ready product to justify a ban, Apple could win and fast. But let's talk about timelines because Masimo's patent doesn't expire until August of 2028, and that means if Apple loses this appeal, the feature will stay blocked in the United States until then. So the Federal Circuit hasn't set a deadline, but past cases like the AliveCore, which Apple won in March of 2025, wrapped up in 4 to 6 months. So we could hear a decision later this year and not in 2028. But here's why this actually matters. If Apple wins, the blood oxygen tracker is back in the US versions of the Series 9, Ultra 2, and Series 10. But Apple hasn't reinstated it yet because they're not ready. 2, if Apple loses, the feature stays gone, legally blocked until the patent expiry of August of 2028. But the legal precedent matters more. This could make it easier for other health patents to take on Apple in the future. And 3, people argue that Apple can simply rewrite the feature, the sensor tech later, but that's a long and costly engineering process. And look, I get it, but I honestly thought Apple was going to have a new sensor when the Series 10 and Ultra 2 came out in the black color in 2024 because I didn't think they would want people to be missing out on upgrading because I know people who didn't upgrade. Personally, I did decide to upgrade to the black Ultra 2 from the natural titanium Ultra 2, and I love it. My one complaint is the fact that the blood oxygen sensor is missing. Now, I do sleep track with an older Series 8 that still does have the O2 tracker in it, but it definitely does upset me that as a user, this feature is just blocked because of this ongoing lawsuit. And look, Apple could just pay the fine and settle it. Honestly, thought we would see that, but we haven't because Apple's fighting it. And if this comes to fruition, that means users who have upgraded to the Series 10, Ultra 2, and the Series 9 after that date of December of 2023 will get these blood oxygen sensors turned back on. And that's a big thing because people aren't going to upgrade as much, or if they do, they might not realize they lost this feature and then they're going to be annoyed that they lost this feature. So what's the smart move listed for users? If you rely on the SpO2 monitoring and you live in the United States, it might be worth waiting a few months and seeing how this ruling goes. But if you're buying now, pre-ban Series 9, Ultra 2, or any international model, still includes it. And those units could skyrocket in value because we don't have it here in the United States. So this isn't just a product glitch if you have it, it's a precedent-setting legal fight. And Apple just put out its strongest defense yet. And with Masimo's product timing called into question, we might actually see this feature return well before 2028. But let me know what your thoughts are below, and do you care about not having the SpO2 tracking? Would it hold you back from buying a new Apple Watch? Let me know with a comment down below because I'll keep following this for updates. So if you're interested in the outcome, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next one. And remember, today's a good day to make a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.